Hello, and welcome to Doomed to Fail. My name is Taylor, and along with my best friend Fars, we tell you stories about historical disasters and failures. And it's kind of turned into anything we find interesting. We're learning a ton, and we're weaving a web to tell a story about human history. Today, I want to focus on some of our plane stories. So I am doing better, but I went to a lot of therapy, very seriously, a lot of therapy, to be able to get on an airplane and not have a panic attack and not feel extremely nervous. I think there is a part of it that I will always sort of blame on being in New York on September 11th and knowing someone who died in the plane that hit the Pentagon. My German teacher from high school, her name was Barbara Edwards. She was a lovely, hilarious old German woman. We played pranks on her. We watched Far and Away in her class like 4 times. We made donuts. Like she was just an absolute trip. And her son got married in Boston and she was on her way home. And I think she even like maybe stayed an extra day. I don't know if that's a rumor, but her plane hit the Pentagon and I think about her all the time. She wore lovely brooches of animals and I don't know. So I feel scared of being on a plane, but I go. I've never not gone. And I'm doing much better now as I get older and as I work on it, but I understand it's like a real thing. But also I think about historically how insane it is that we have not been flying for very long. So anyway, back to the stories. Some episodes that I want to share with you. Episode 68 is on the Tenerife crash, which is the worst crash in history, I think, until September 11th. We put those together, but 538 people died on the tarmac. And it's so interesting because one of the KLM pilots, who was like the KLM pilot, was involved in it, and it's a business story as well, I think. Then on episode 77, Forrest talks about clouds, and there's some times where there's a man who his plane, I don't know, broke, and he was like hanging in a cloud on a parachute for a long time. And it's interesting, the things he saw is just like not a thing. There is episode 80 on the SR-71 Blackbird. It's about like a very stealth plane the United States made. Episode 90 is about our dear Amelia Earhart. We love her. Also, don't forget Fred Noonan, who died with her in her plane. There is episode 116 on little mistakes that kind of messed up space travel. So there's in that. Episode 138, considering more space travel, is about the Challenger. I know it's not a plane, but also like how freaking far we've come from the Wright brothers to the Challenger to today. It's insane. Episode 140, I did an episode on times when planes hit buildings in New York City. Obviously not September 11th because I'm not talking about that, but other times. There's not just one, there's several. Episode 161 is on the Lockerbie bombing when a plane exploded over Ireland. It was a terrorist attack. Episode 170 is on the Uberlingen disaster where two planes collided midair. Episode 190 is of the Germanwings flight that was pretty recent where the pilot crashed the plane into a mountain. Episode 192 is about a New Zealand flight that crashed in the Antarctic. They hit a mountain and they didn't know that it was there, and it's actually super interesting. And then flight 123 is about Japan Airlines. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Episode 205 is about Japan Airlines Flight 123, which was the worst single aircraft crash in history. So maybe that came after. Come back, come listen to all of them. We have plenty of episodes on planes. Oh, and also, I think I forgot to add, I have an episode about Sarla Thakal, who is the Amelia Airport of India. So on her too, as well as in our women's history stories. There's a lot. It's a lot, and I feel like we are very lucky to be able to do that because a lot of the stories we tell are about people who traversed mountains and lands to find other people. Like, can you imagine being a Roman when the Celts walked across the fucking mountains into your land and you saw these people who were, inches taller than you? Big red haired peoples that you'd never seen before. If you were in the Mediterranean or in Africa or in places like you didn't know there was snow unless you were near a mountain, like the things that we've learned that we're able to see because of how quickly we can get from place to place. We take it for granted. We, let it be a joke, but we're very lucky that we get to do this because in the past you would get to maybe drive your horse a mile away, or you always had to walk and all the things. So, anyway, it's scary, but it's a fucking miracle. And we're very lucky. And please listen to our plane episodes. And if you have a plane story, email us. doomeditfellowpod@gmail.com. Thank you.